Coming.
Bam.
Ah.
Oh, ha! Look at that. First of all, fuck Google Hangout for fucking our shit up twice. And welcome to a Monday night edition of Keyboard Warriors. Obviously, the biggest news of the day is the Jon Jones situation, but we're gonna kick it off with something else, with some comments about UFC 186, and then we'll group right into the shit. We're joining me today, of course, Aaron Robbins from Standing Bang Radio MMA or Standing Bang MMA, yeah, and Fred Kirby from Standing Bang MMA, and Gem City Fighting. How you fellas doing?
How about you, Fred? You go. How are you doing?
Yeah, there you go, Fred. How you doing, Fred?
I'm fucking fantastic. I'm fantastic.
Oh, now what am I?
Are we leading off? Are we leading off with 186? Or are we leading off? Are we going to do that?
Let's lead off with 186 real quick. Like we'll talk about a couple comments with 186, and then like what's your like the biggest thing you took up from it, and then we'll talk about the rest of the shows will be Jon Jones, whether you love him, hate him, or indifferent.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
Yeah.
We're going to start out with 186.
All right, let's go. In fact, if you want to, what's your biggest takeaway from 186?
Rampage and Bisping probably need to head over to Bellator together.
Even though they won?
Yeah. Was you impressed with either performance? No bullshit?
I was okay. I was impressed with Bisping still being able to do what he does with an eye and a half. Okay, but the CB Dalloway wasn't much really. He's not. I'm not impressed with CB Dalloway whatsoever.
Here's the deal with both of those fights, man, in a nutshell for me. With Rampage and Bisping, it feels like both of those dudes would have had no problem with those guys that they fought a few years ago. The fact that CB Dalloway was cracking the shit out of Michael Bisping, I don't know whether that fucking eye, he don't see out of it that well, or whether his boxing fucking defense is just shite these days or what, but CB Dalloway landed that left hook like 9,000 times in that fight. And with Rampage, everybody's getting their panties in a ruffle because he threw a head kick and a couple knees. So the fuck what? The head kick missed, and he couldn't finish Fabio Maldonado. And quickly, on a side note, before I forget, what the fuck was up with his toenails? I've seen a lot of fights in my day, and I've never seen nobody have to get their fucking toenails clipped ringside. First off, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
Second off, what the fuck? His body looks like shit. Rampage should have steamrolled him, and Bisping should have steamrolled Dalloway. I think they're both past their fucking prime. And the fact that either one of them even mentions title shot is laughable.
Yeah. No, and here's the thing too. Is the thing about Bisping is the fact that he gets paid so much fucking money. So every time he fights, he makes bang, no matter who he fights. Now he's talking about fighting who the fuck, Jacare. Remember, I think Jacare was looking for to fight him and shit. Jacare would kill him, first of all. But the thing about Rampage though is, I mean, he looked okay. Yeah, it was Fabio Maldonado. Everybody looks okay against Fabio, but I don't know, man. Like now he's talking about doing a comeback tour, fighting everyone that beat him, and he wants to go for a title shot. If you didn't laugh with a title shot comment during the press conference, I don't know what else was funny about that shit. But that guy's fucking delusional. But Aaron, what's your biggest takeaway from 186?
My biggest takeaway from 186?
Yeah.
I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot to take away from that card, was there? If we want to talk about the fights that you guys were talking about, Michael Bisping kept getting hit with that left hook. He's durable. He's got great cardio. I just want to know what happened to him in the last 36 months, because this is the same guy that damn near crippled Kung Lee, right? So he used to have punching power. And if I'm not mistaken, he handled Dennis Kang, right? And didn't he also fuck up Alan Belcher pretty good?
Pretty sure.
All right, so...
Long fucking time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
I said 36 months ago.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, there's some sons of bitches that keep their power well into their 40s. You know what I mean? It seems like Bisping overnight just lost it completely. I mean, where's that clinch game he used to have? Where are those knees? You know what I mean? None of that was on display against Dalloway. That fight was awful. And I'm not about taking somebody's dream away, but let's be fucking realistic. Bisping is lucky to be where he's at. He's got a Fox job. He's one of the highest paid UFC fighters, which I don't know what dick he sucked for that to happen. But he's one of the highest paid UFC fighters. He's got the Fox deal. He is never going to be a title contender. And CB Dalloway, I'm not even exactly sure how that's a test, when did he even become a legitimate fighter? Like, I've always just kind of like, oh, CB Dollaway's on the card? All right, whatever. I can't even tell you who he's won or lost against. That's just one of those guys. And then Rampage against Fabio Maldonado. All right, yeah, arguably Rampage looked good against Fabio Maldonado. Now you put him up against any better light heavyweight, and what's going to happen? He's going to get dumped on his ass. He's not going to be able to get up off of his ass, and then he's going to complain, oh, they held me down, they held me down. Fred said it best on Stand and Bang this last week. If you want to punch, just go box. If you want to only strike, go K1. But if you're in MMA, don't bitch when somebody dumps you on your ass and holds you there. That's part of the game.
Yeah, and I always said that too to like fucking like fans that go, oh, I just want them to stay in there and trade. Go watch kickboxing. Go watch Glory. It's like, I don't want to see no wrestling. Okay, go watch kickboxing. Go watch boxing. Go to watch something else. This isn't for you if all you're looking for is people to strike. In fact, I recommend Muay Thai. Go watch lion fights. That shit's fun as hell when you go watch them strike, and lion fights is the shit. So, yeah, but let's talk about the main event, Demetrius Johnson. He was apparently, like, he didn't, okay, some people are saying he didn't look like he was happy with his performance. A last-second armbar is not bad, but he bored you to death for about 4 rounds, almost 5 rounds.
I disagree with that. A last-second armbar is bad because I had to watch that fight for 24 minutes and 59 seconds. Holy shit. This argues the whole fact. If he's the best, okay, what was his opponent's name? I'm sorry, it's
Yoji Horiguchi.
Horiguchi, yeah, sorry, I was thinking Mizugaki. Horiguchi, he's number 8, right? So if you're number 8 and you go up against the universe's ultimate fighter, it shouldn't take 24 minutes and 59 seconds for him to figure you out. He should have been able to snuff number 8 real quick, or maybe he isn't as good as we're thinking. Maybe John Dodson waiting in the wings is a little bit better than we think. Maybe Ian McCall does have a chance. But I will tell you what, Dana White can say, hey, fuck you, don't buy the card. I don't give one shit. All right, I take your advice. The next time DJ fights, fuck you, Dana White. I'm not watching.
No, most cards that are headlined, what was it, UFC 174 was headlined by DJ, and people walked out during the main event, happened again this last weekend. People were walking out during the main event. So you would think that the biggest organization on the planet, as far as MMA goes, would be able to find a 125er that could give this guy a fight. It hasn't happened yet. I would love to give Ian McCall or John Dodson a shot at this guy just to see if either one has a shot against him. And Fred's shaking his head.
That's not the point. It's not on Ian McCall. It's on Mighty Mouse because he's the fucking champ. Listen, man. The problem with Mighty Mouse is
Nope. I call bullshit. You
haven't heard the fucking argument yet.
Bullshit. No, I call bullshit because you already fucked up, man. Who's making 145 fucking interesting?
Honor.
Okay, so I guess it is on Ian McCall or John Dodson. You don't have to have an interesting champion, do you, Fredo? You just have to have some ignorant, mouth-running cocksucker to get everybody fucking looking at the division.
But we ain't talking about them. We're talking about Mighty Mouse. We're talking about the champion that everybody rides his dick as being the technically greatest fighter on planet Earth. And here's the point, man. Sterling fucking put it good on Stand and Bang. He said that Mighty Mouse needs to come out and be more vocal. Here's a little comparison for you guys. What do fucking Mighty Mouse and Floyd Mayweather have in common?
They're both black.
Quick.
There you go. Way to be a racist, Aaron. We love that.
It's not racist to notice somebody's skin color.
Settle down, Dr. Philgood. Listen, what they have in common is they're both boring as fuck to watch fight. They are both very technically great, but watching them compete is quite frankly not that fun. Now, here's a major difference they have. Every cock-sucking, swinging dick on planet Earth is going to tune into Floyd Mayweather's fight next week or whatever the fuck it is. Nobody gives a fuck about Mighty Mouse. Now, why is that?
Because Mighty Mouse doesn't talk and Floyd Mayweather is hated by everybody.
Exactly. It's just that Floyd Mayweather promotes himself. Floyd Mayweather says, I'm the fucking greatest, and if any of y'all haven't fucking heard, let me remind you again, I'm the greatest. Here's $1 million. I'll burn it in front of you, and then I'll kick everybody's ass in the room. And it makes him a smug cocksucker that everybody wants to see get beat. And then when he comes out and he technically performs against whoever the fuck he's been fighting the last 3 years. I sure shit couldn't name him. Nobody gives a fuck. Everybody still buys the pay-per-view because Floyd Mayweather sells it. And ironically enough, he's not a fun fighter to watch. With Tyson, I got it. You watch guys get murdered. Even Ali would finish fighters and was an aggressive fighter. Floyd Mayweather is a very defensive, technical boxer, which isn't fun for people to watch. But somehow or another, the guy is fucking huge. Mighty Mouse could benefit greatly if he could harness some of that Floyd Mayweather shit. Because he's got the talent. He's dominating everybody. But nobody gives a rat's ass about it.
He can't do it though. I mean, have you heard him on the mic?
I'll give you that.
Okay, because all right, here's the flip side of that coin. All of a sudden, Mighty Mouse comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the greatest ever. Suck my cock. Fuck you, Ian McCall. Fuck you, John Dodson. You little midgety prick." Nobody would fucking buy it.
Hey, but listen though. Before Floyd was Money Mayweather, he was what? He was Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah,
he did change his persona. Nobody gave a fuck when he was Pretty Boy Floyd. All of a sudden he came out, he's smacking strippers and burning money. I don't know how it happened, but listen, it would take a minute, and I don't think that DJ should become Floyd Mayweather, but I think that he could turn on a cocky arrogance that could benefit him, man. He's great. Why not rub our noses in it a little bit?
I'm not buying it.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm just not buying it, and it's not because he's not a great fighter. I don't think it isn't that, man. There's some sort of visceral excitement that is needed in a good MMA fight. Now, obviously, I love a good slugfest, but I also like top quality grappling. There's many matches that go on where it's a very good technical grappling with some striking intermixed in that and good dominant performance, and I'm excited about that. Mighty Mouse doesn't have that. His dominance is so superior. Like, if the things aren't going right the way he wants to on the feet, then he just dumps you, sucks all the energy out of you. But while he's doing that, he's one of those guys that is just kind of like maintaining position. I think a lot of what it is not so much being being more aggressive on the mic. It's that killer instinct, man. That's what I don't get from DJ. He needs to be mean. He's not mean. When he is mounting a guy, he's not trying to bust him open. He's not trying to cut open his face with elbows. You know what I mean? When he's searching for, even his arm bar last night, like, he didn't jerk on that thing and try to break his elbow over his cup. He was fumbling with his thumb and trying to do it technically perfect so he could apply the least amount of pounds of pressure so Horiguchi would tap. I would rather see somebody like a Frank Mir, where when he's done applying the arm bar, somebody needs titanium pins in their bones.
This Davey cocksucker. Look at you. Yeah, you like that, Davey? You like my frozen cup?
Oh, you say something about it?
He fucking mentioned it. Yeah, he's got an eye on him, that cocksucker. I like the cup too. It's big. Holds a lot of coffee.
In fact, speaking of Davey, he thinks DJ needs to move up to 135. See that shit?
With that. He just needs to talk some shit and drum up some interest, man. He needs us to make... You know what? Listen, here's an example. This week, there was a big headline that Conor McGregor said that he could kill Floyd Mayweather in 30 seconds, right? So,
yeah.
but hold on, though. When they asked Mighty Mouse about it, what did Mighty Mouse say? Mighty Mouse said, well, I'd beat him in 15 because I'm faster. What Mighty Mouse should have said is, I'll whip Conor McGregor's ass because we're in the same sport and fuck him. I'm the fucking king. I'm telling you. And then all of a sudden, it's a headline. And, listen, he just needs to shoot for the stars, man, and fucking start talking some shit. He's earned the right to. I get what you're saying, Aaron, though. You can't make somebody what they're not. And if DJ's just not that type of cat, it is what it is.
All right. How about this one? Like, arguably, Rumble, all legal troubles aside, Rumble Johnson, he's not super aggressive on the mic. He's not really one to talk any shit. But when he walks to the cage, I get frightened for his opponent. Even if I don't like his opponent. Like, I don't really like the Nogueira brothers all that much anymore, especially Little Nog. But when he was killing him, I was on the edge of my couch going, no, stop him. There's nothing that DJ does where I'm like, yeah, that guy's probably in trouble. I mean, afterwards, they dust themselves off, little teeny guys, 125 pounds. They're like, yeah, good competition, man. Yeah, you too. That was great. Okay, now let's get into our extra small shirts and fucking drive away in our Mini Coopers. I don't know. It's just, it just doesn't fucking do it for me, man.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Look, I kind of agree with. I agree kind of with both of you. DJ should be talking more. I mean, he started cussing on interviews now, saying he doesn't give a fuck and a bunch of this shit. That's great, but he also doesn't have that killer instinct. Just like Aaron was saying, he doesn't drop elbows when he's on top of somebody. He doesn't try to finish him at all.
Wait a second. After DJ, who do we really know out of the flyweight the flyweight division? Ian McCall, John Dodson.
Right.
Who else do we know? Horiguchi.
Yeah, Bagatinov until he cheated.
Bagatinov.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just calling Davey Boy out on some ridiculous shit right now.
Okay, go ahead.
That was his question. So there you go, Davey Boy. We know quite a few fighters.
Now, the flyweights are fun, man. People always do that shit. They're going to do that with the strawweight women. People always hate on a weight division until something happens with it, until like a certain fighter or somebody comes along and makes that shit interesting. It's not flyweight that's the problem, man. It's just...
All right, okay, wait a second. Wait, you know, we're going all negative on this. Was there anything that you guys did like about 186? What were the fights you did like?
The cat in the beginning, man, Thomas Almeida. that was good, man. I enjoyed that shit. And he's a good prospect. He's somebody to keep an eye on. I thought that shit was fun.
All right, why? Okay, I don't have it pulled up on my computer, but why am I thinking that the first two fights of the main card were good?
Because they were finishes.
Yeah, McDessie finished Campbell. Here's the thing. All right, so let's talk about Yves Jobin, however you say that shit, and Thomas Almeida. Thomas Almeida is a fucking straight up, striker, a kickboxer, I believe. And he ended up finishing Yves pretty easily in that first round. And then the other fight, Shane Campbell is a Muay Thai guy, strictly Muay Thai, barely any wrestling, and McDessie knocked him the fuck out.
Yo, hold on.
Oh yeah, that's where the cutesy little kickboxer was playing around a little bit, and McDessie fucking lambasted him just one good shot. Yeah, see, now it doesn't always have to be that way, but I mean that right there for me, that was the savior of the card, because honestly, past that, I could have turned the fights off right then, and I don't think I would have been too sad to just read the recaps.
Hold on, let me bring up one point about the Medeski fight, though, man. Listen, there was at one point Medeski grabbed the fence.
Yeah.
Got away with the fence grab right before he got the finish. Now, I'm not saying that the fight would have went any differently, but I am saying that the Muay Thai guy was looking pretty good up until that shit happened, and then he got clipped and he got dropped, and he was about to get the takedown, it looked like, and Medeski got away with a blatant fence grab. And then he ended up knocking him out right thereafter. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what's the deal with the fence grab? I mean, do you get a warning?
Didn't I think Luke Thomas? I think it was Luke Thomas that pointed out that Bisping also put his fingers in the fence real quick with Dalloway, and he said, if he wouldn't have done that quick fence grab, the fight would have been radically different too. So. Every now and then you get one of those refs, man, no toes in the cage, no fingers in the cage, and then every now and then you get to be a little bit sneaky. You get that half a second grab, and you don't have that momentum to run the dump.
What do you do?
Yeah, man, that can change a fight.
I would make it blatantly clear for every fighter coming into the event. I'm sorry that if it's instinct, if you fucking grab the cage, we are taking a point. Fucking period. First one, no warnings. Because look at that shit, man. It does. This is MMA, man. It's not boxing. You don't get a standing fucking 8 count. It's not WWE where it's all like one fuck up like that and you get to stay on your feet for 10 more seconds and land one good punch. Fuck that shit, man. Like that could change the entire complexion of a fight. And if you don't even get penalized for it, why the fuck wouldn't I grab the fence? At least one good time. I know I got one. That could change the whole fight, man. Fuck that.
Maybe you didn't see it.
Maybe you should get fucking glasses.
Speaking of refs, here's a fun one. Alexis Davis versus Sarah Kaufman. A lot of complaints about the ref there. What do you guys think of that? Let's start with Aaron.
What? Wait a second. Who was the ref?
your favorite person. I forgot the name.
It was Jaron Vallel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he let a fucking submission go on way too long, didn't he?
Like 10 seconds extra, maybe more.
Yeah.
Okay. It's kind of, we'll be talking about serial fuck-up Jon Jones here pretty soon, but I would have to say that my good buddy Jaron Vallel, in the last 2 events, he let Josh Koscheck get choked till he had bulldog slobber coming out of his face. Who else? He let Mark Munoz almost die.
He's fucked up a lot lately, man.
And then he let, what was it? What's her name there? Is
Kaufman?
Yeah. He let Kaufman's elbow capsule get separated for about 15 seconds. And here's another thing about that. Alexis Davis has lost twice to Kaufman. So when she was like, oh, I think I didn't feel the tap, I'm not sure. You know that she was fucking yanking on that arm as hard as she fucking could, like, fuck you, cunt. And Jared LaBelle just let it go on and on. She was like, yes, I didn't feel her tapping. You can clearly see her fingers about 70 times bouncing off her thigh like that. So I've got no problem with Alexis Davis holding on to that armbar for that long. I do have a serious problem with Jaron LaBelle. He needs to go the way of Yves Lavigne, who was there because obviously it's a French-Canadian event.
Yeah.
But him and fucking Mazzagatti, Yves Lavigne, all of those guys, they need to go back to the minor leagues. They need to go do something else because they have just fucked up way too many times, and we don't have any fucking room for bad officials in the cage. But congratulations to Davis. Please wear a longer shirt.
Oh God, yeah, dude. She look like a thing except whiter than shit. God damn it. All right. Anything else on 186 before we move on to the Jon Jones shit?
Man, I can't believe we talked about 186 for that long.
I got you. Anyway.
86 was pretty uneventful for real.
All right. Just a couple tweets here we're getting from Sean Paul Cunningham and Davey Boy. In fact, I'm just gonna say the one thing they have in common because it helps us move on to the next thing. They both say. Davey Boy has a hashtag says free Jon Jones, and Sean Paul Cunningham has says free Johnny Boy. Johnny's a fucking great fighter. So if you haven't heard and you had your head up your ass the entire day, Jon Jones apparently was in a hit and run accident, and he ran. In fact, the details are that after he got in the accident, he got out, ran up a hill, somehow slouched over. I'm assuming he was checking his pockets. Got back up, ran back to the car, which was a rental car from Enterprise. Went back to the car, grabbed like a big thing of money, stuffed it in his pockets, and then hauled ass into a gated neighborhood, effectively running away from the accident. Which some people at this point are arguing might have been the smartest choice, although that obviously it's an argument you can make. But now he's been booked. There was a felony arrest warrant put out for him. He's been booked now. He had a $2,500 bond. And most likely he's out right now. But at this point, I mean that bond's bullshit for him. So, starting with Fred, your reaction to this whole fucking incident?
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, where do we start with this shit, man? I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see exactly what all the details are before we jump to any crazy conclusions. I guess if everything that is supposedly true, actually ends up being true, then, like I said before, man, I think at the end of the day, we have a lot of fun on this show, man, and we talk a lot of shit, but if Jon Jones has got a cocaine problem and fucking has an alcohol problem, is like a low-key alcoholic cokehead, out banging strippers constantly and shit, man, that's a fucking legit problem. And he's also fucking one of the most talented athletes or fighters on planet fucking Earth, man. So, with this shit happening, Aaron had said it before, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to feel like this fucking dude should never fight again, that he should go to fucking prison, he fucking hurt a pregnant woman, he was fucking cracked out, they're going to start exaggerating and telling fucking falsehoods, and then you're going to have fucking people on the other end of the spectrum that are like, fuck that, Jon Jones is the king, all y'all can suck it, he should get out, we're going to ride his dick no matter what. I want to think that I'm going to fall somewhere in the middle, man. I don't want to see the dude get persecuted because I do think he's fucking a great fighter. I think he has a fucking drug problem. I think now it's kind of well documented that fucking his college roommates are coming out, and everybody's basically saying that Jon Jones has been known to like to party, make it rain at the strip clubs, do blow, and do shit that a lot of fucking 23, 24-year-old millionaires like to do, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't think that he should fucking never fight again. Here's what I think should happen to Jon Jones. I think they should strip him of his title. I think they should force him in to a real rehab, one that he does not walk away from for 24 hours, one that he's in for 2 to 3 months, a real legit rehab that's going to turn his fucking life around. And then I think when he comes out, you give him whoever the champion is. I guess if you want to call it an interim title, that's fucking stupid, but you could do that in the meantime. Have a fight or two. Obviously, Jones is going to get a crack at the belt when he comes home. You have a great story behind that. You have a huge fight at the end of the year. And hopefully Jon Jones can get the fucking help he needs. And, you know, all bullshit aside, come back to us fucking clean and ready to do this shit for real.
You know what? I wonder if the cocaine is why he is so good. What if he goes to rehab, he can't do no more coke, comes back, and he's like Phil Davis?
No.
I'm just saying, like.
No. Cocaine's not magic, Eddie. It's not magic. It's just
I argue. Hey, call Charlie Sheen. He knows.
You must have never done any blow.
I've never done blow ever.
That's not magic.
All right.
I've done a lot of things in my life, but not blow.
Neither have I. Okay. You know what? I'm going to play it a little bit different than Fred since he stole everything that I wanted to say, asshole. This is my problem with it. My problem is less with Jon Jones and more with MMA fans. MMA fans, don't just fucking turn a blind eye because you like a fighter. There's also a human element. This guy is becoming a serial fuck-up. Do you know what I mean? Like the DUI. Have we forgotten about the DUI in the SUV? I haven't. Have we forgotten that he's already been busted for coke? I haven't. Are we telling you, you know, oh, it was probably the smartest thing to flee from the scene of an accident? Well, okay, have we really lost our fucking minds?
Okay.
That is a crime in and of itself.
The reason I say real quick, the reason I say that,
I got some fucking cocaine inside of me. I better just flee. That's the smartest thing I can do. No, that is saving your ass. That is a cowardly maneuver. You hurt somebody else. You ran like a fucking coward. You came back to grab your bag of blow and your money, because I will bet you all the money I got in my wallet against all the money he has in his, that he didn't run back for that money. Because that money wouldn't have been evidence unless there was a fucking bag of coke inside of that fucking wad of money. I'm speculating. But I'm pretty sure I'm right. The weed, whatever. I don't really give a shit one way or another about the weed. I think, what's his name there? Diaz said it best when he's like, weed doesn't hurt my fight career. My fight career is getting in the way of my weed smoking. Ha ha ha. Very funny. But here's the thing. This is becoming a fucking serial problem. It is a serial problem. This guy has an issue. Whether it's an immaturity issue, whether it's a drug issue, whether he got some fucking ingrown criminal genes in him somewhere or something. Something needs to happen on the personal level with Jon Jones, the commission. Somebody needs to slow him down because, I mean, what is it? Cerrone come out and is like, yeah, he does blow. Colby Covington, yeah, he parties.
That's fucked up, Cerrone. All those cute cocksuckers. Yeah, hey, Jake, we all knew that Johnny Boy was getting crazy. Everybody comes out with the fucking telling now.
Dude, this was 2 years ago.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, dude, Cerrone came out 2 years ago.
He was probably drunk.
On some sort of fucking, I don't know what the hell it was, some sort of internet chat or some shit. He's like, oh yeah, fucking Jones parties. Colby Covington lived with him. Who else did I talk to that lived with him? They said straight up, man, I think, what was it, Joe Soto, maybe? They said straight up, Jon Jones is fucking wild as fuck in college. And then I've actually saw people on social media. He's experimenting. Edison experimented less with the light bulb.
He's not experimenting at this point.
Experimenting anymore. You know what I mean? Something has got to be done.
Look, man, the reason I said that it might have been the smartest thing to run away, okay, it's the wrong thing to do. It's an illegal thing to do. All right, it is a cowardly thing to do. But he ran with that bag of blow, most likely, whatever the fuck was with the money, okay, and whatever was in the system. I mean, I guess, and he's probably hoping that he cleaned out. He's not gonna piss Hop or anything. But as far as like a lead in the eyes of the law, that was probably smarter, so he can go get his fucking shit together and get his story straight. He didn't want to sit there and open his mouth to the cops when you're a fucking 6 foot whatever the fuck he is retard out there fucking driving around under the influence, hitting people and breaking pregnant women's arms. All right. The other joke, what was the joke? I don't know who put up the joke on Twitter. I fucking hate the fucking. It might have been Aaron that said the eye poke thing. Did you say that?
What was it?
Okay, never mind. It was one of those. I fucking. If you're watching and you fucking said this shit, let the tweet over.
Are you talking about MMA roasted? They knew the coke was his because it had holes poked in it.
No. It was Jon Jones ran back to the scene so he could eye poke the lady so she couldn't see who he was. I don't know who made that joke, but if you're watching, please tweet over when I give you credit, because that one had me rolling for a few minutes. All right, that was pretty fucking good. I gotta give whoever that is credit. Like Jon Jones came back in the car and poked him in the eye. Huh?
Untasteful, that joke.
Whatever. It's a fucking.
You know what? I wanna bring that up because I didn't get into war. I don't get into Twitter wars, Twitter battles, sure dog, nothing like that. If you want to be a fucking asshole, that's fine. You're just typing on a screen to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. But I didn't even make the fucking stream or the post, the thread. Sorry, it's called a thread. I didn't even make the thread. I just responded to it. And the guy had asked, since Jon Jones is such a high-class athlete, why does he also have to be a serial eye poker? And what I did is I went on YouTube and I got Jon Jones' greatest hits. And it's like a 2.5-minute video of him poking every opponent he's ever had in his eyeball. And I said something along the lines of, it's common knowledge that Jon Jones employs open hand strikes and the fingers sometimes go in the eye. The next guy who commented was like, it's a known fact that Aaron Robbins is a fucking liar. See, I said it was a known fact, so it's true.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck you.
Okay, so if Fred, if you're the UFC, all right, because you look at things from a more like reality, what was most likely going to happen, instead of what it should happen type of point of view. If you're the UFC, what do you do with Jon Jones?
I said it. No bullshit, man. I send him to rehab. I play up the angle that, listen, if I'm selling crack and I get caught selling crack in the trap, I eat me a little crack. Do you know why I do that? So that when we go to court, I can say I'm a fucking addict and I got a fucking problem and I don't come across like a fucking drug dealer. And I can say, instead of sending my pussy ass to fucking prison where they're going to kill me and butt rape me, you can send me to a cushy little rehab somewhere where you can help me and I can become a productive member of society. Jon Jones needs to play that angle up. He's not a bad guy. He's not a sadistic dude. He's a fucking drug addict with a drug problem. He needs help with that. The UFC should play that angle up. Hey, look, everybody can get addicted to a substance, man. People suffer with alcohol fucking problem all over. Like, that shit happens. He needs to go get that shit dealt with, though. Like, that's real talk. He needs to go to a fucking rehab.
All right.
And that's what I would do to him.
Wait a second. Davey boy, quit using @Jon Jones. That poor son of a bitch. That is not Johnny Bones Jones' fucking Twitter handle. That is a poor bastard that just happens to be named Jon Jones.
No, that's why he put that on there, man. Because everyone's been tweeting @Jon Jones, right? Like if you go to that guy's Twitter and you go to just his like tweets that people he talks to, it might be the most fucking hilarious thing. But like, remember the first time that happened to him with the Coke thing? Reebok gave this guy a bunch of shit, like a bunch of like free stuff for the fact that he got fucked over like that. And this time around, he goes, "Yeah, my phone's buzzing every 10 seconds with fucking mentions, man." But yeah, that's another one. Maybe he'll tune in. Hey, if Jon Jones, if the white Jon Jones tunes in, what's up, dude?
Yeah, definitely. Now here's the thing. I can agree with the rehab thing, but there has to be something further than that. While he's getting clean, we have to take the incentive to compete away from him, or otherwise he's going to shortchange it. Trust me, from a recovering addict standpoint, which I am. I don't know if everybody knows that on this show, but it's pretty well documented among my friends. I'm 4 years sober. I've been to rehab. If you have any other concern while you're in rehab, you'll short corner it. And that's exactly what will happen with Jon. He needs to be given a break from athletic competition. How long has he been competing athletically now for such a young guy? It's been years. And he's been the champion for quite a while with no respite. So if we're really going to do this right, if we don't want to send his silly ass to jail and we really want to see Jon Jones be the best that he can be, he does. He needs to be suspended for a while. He needs to be stripped of the title. Jones needs to fight Conor McGregor, or Johnson needs to fight Conor McGregor, because I'd like to see Conor McGregor get killed. And then
okay, hold on, listen, Aaron, you're right. You do have a little bit of personal experience with this. How long do you think it would take somebody like Jon Jones, who has been partying since fucking college, who's a very wealthy man, all bullshit aside, how long do you think it would take a cat like that to get ready to come back and compete at a high level?
A year.
A year?
A year. Six months to wrap his mind around the fact that he has to stay clean. A couple of months for that in-between time where he's actually convinced himself that those days are done, and then a good 4 or 5 months to get his body acclimated to the high level of athletic activity again. It takes a while, man. He's already a fantastic athlete. He's not showing any physical effects from his alleged drug use and his alleged addictions. Sure. But once you go through the cleanup process, it takes a while for your brain to reconcile with your body what's going on.
Fair enough. Okay.
Well, here's the thing, too. Like, okay, if you're the commission, because like, there's one hand is the UFC. On the other hand, there's a commission, right? This is the second time. This is the second like DUI type of problem that they've had with Jon Jones. And they could talk about the cocaine thing as well as evidence that he's been on drugs for a long time. If you're the commission, Fred, what do you think the commission would do to him or will do to him?
No, that is a completely different question altogether now, isn't it? What the commission will do to him is anybody's fucking guess. They are so wishy-washy with their shit, you know. They might never not let Nick Diaz fight again for pot usage, and then they might let old Chael Sonnen fight again here in 6 months if his time's up. So I don't know what the commission will really do to Jon Jones, man. You know, I guess I'm inclined to say that money talks and bullshit walks with them, right? Johnny Bones Jones is one of the biggest draws in the sport, so I'm assuming that the commission will try their best to get him back in action as soon as possible, right? I mean, not to assume the worst about people, but you know, everybody's looking for their own interest. If they can have the return Jon Jones fight in Vegas sooner rather than later, they're probably on it. They will probably try to punish him in some way, but I doubt they'll throw the fucking book at him.
Yeah, and look, there's like two. It seems like the two trains of thought on social media.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. That's his thing. That's his
That's the mug shot right there.
Oh shit! There it is.
Yeah, that's it.
He's a good-looking fella.
Mug shot. He is a fucking good-looking guy. Good-looking guy, fucking bad man. No wonder he's fucking. Listen, I gotta say, man, I don't really feel bad for Jon Jones, but I understand where he's coming from, man. He's a young dude. He's been on the top of the world for a long time. He had a lot of money. He's out fucking crashing cars and doing coke with strippers.
Let me tell you what.
He is.
Let's keep it real, man. We would all be a bunch of fuck ups.
Right.
Guaranteed. If you got a little package on your doorstep tomorrow, Kirby, with say, I don't know, $6.5 million in it, we would never see Fred Kirby again. He would be on fucking permanent vacation.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? There would be little half chocolate babies all over the fucking It would be some bad shit. You know what I mean? Eddie, I think Eddie's a little bit calmer, and then Nick Pilecki, he would probably just give it to charity or some shit. He would buy some Beats audio headphones, and the rest would be like, man, there's so many poor, impoverished children all over the world. I'm gonna build wells and go all over the world. Give it to all the children that don't have nothing else. I don't know. I'm evil, so I'm afraid of what I would do. But yeah, I'm right with you there, Fred. You gotta sympathize with a guy who's gotten so much so fast. And that's what it is with a lot of young athletes. I mean, look at the NBA. Look at the NFL. Do you know what I mean? It's just, there's case after case after case. These guys are kids. I mean, they're 21, 22, 24. All of a sudden, they're millionaires overnight. there's so many people pulling him in so many directions and so many hands out and so many people wanting to party with him and be with him and vibe off that energy, man. And at the end of the day, they're all humans. But at the same time, with Jon Jones now, he's kind of striking out. You know, it keeps getting a little bit more scary. Like the SUV thing, okay, DUI, all right, whatever. Then, you know, you jeopardize your career a little bit with coke. Then he's on Instagram with a weed pipe behind him with little slit eyes that you could blindfold him with dental floss that he had to erase real quick. And then now the hit-and-run accident and somebody got hurt. You know what I mean? You can kind of see an escalation. And when you start to see that escalation, that's when it's time. It's time for something to happen where he has to, you know, he has to face the problem.
Oh, okay, listen, boys, before we get off of Jon Jones and get on to whatever might be next for the night, I'm just curious, what do we think happens with Jon Jones? What do you guys think happens? Do you think, not what happens, but just long-term with Jon, do you think that this is something that, do you think he ends up flushing it down the toilet with this, or do you think he overcomes this and comes out and comes out good on the other end?
He's young enough that this, here's the thing, man, there's going to be the UFC spin, there's going to be the commission spin, there's going to be the lawyer's spin. By the end of this, it'll probably be the pregnant woman beat the shit out of Jon Jones and he had to run and hide because he was embarrassed. You know what I mean? You know that's how this shit's going to go because he's a fucking millionaire and, you know, money talks and bullshit walks. So, no, I think that, again, this will probably be a ridiculous slap on the wrist.
No, I mean for Jon, though. I mean,
I'm not done. I'm not
okay,
done.
I'm sorry.
Nothing. I think he bounces back from this just fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get to my point fast enough.
Here's the thing. Look, just like Aaron was saying, you know, short term. I know, and I said earlier today, I was like, you know what? I have a feeling he's gonna get a slap on the wrist for the fact that you know, he's Jon Jones is what it is. But Aaron's right. He's young. If he gets the right people around him and he actually takes care of this issue once and for all and goes to rehab and takes care of himself and comes back clean, he's gonna come back. He should come back just as fucking dominant as he is, just as good as he is. Like he said, he's still young. We're not talking a fucking 35, 40-year-old that, you know, just comes out with a fucking, you know, drug problem, tries to come back at 45 or 51, Ken Shamrock, and, you know, trying to fight people in fucking Bellator for chump change, okay? Long term, what I hope happens is what is, you know, what PR and marketing and you know, sponsors hope for is this fucking story about a guy that was down with a freaking drug, you know, with a drug problem, fought to get back, and now he's a hero to people. If Kobe Bryant can go, you know, allegedly rape a chick in Colorado, and all he has to do is change his jersey number to 24, and again he's a freaking, you know, hero to people, why can't Jon Jones go to rehab, clean up, start coming out with some anti-drug, you know, things, and, you know, start helping people out with the Joe Rogan face. Yeah. Anyway, but what I think is, you know, the other side of that is, okay, you need to put that down. I can't stop fucking looking at it. But what I think, you know, the other hand of that is going to be, we could be seeing the biggest, like, fucking downfall, the worst downfall we've seen probably ever from a champion, especially someone so dominant, so good, you know, in a long, long time or ever. Jon Jones could go down. He might be one of those fucking 30 for 30 documentaries on ESPN in 15 years of the guy that had it all and pissed it away.
You know what's worrying me right now about this is if he still fights Rumble, let's say that all this bullshit aside, they get an injunction or they don't get an injunction or whatever the hell happens, he still goes on. What my concern is that Anthony Johnson whips his ass. And then right away everybody's like, it was because he was so stressed out about the fucking court case. Anthony Johnson wouldn't have really whipped his ass if this shit wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? If they do go ahead and fight, I don't want it to be any tarnish. You know what I mean? Hey, all good on Jon Jones if he beats Anthony Johnson's ass, because that's an impressive feat as far as I'm concerned, because Anthony Johnson truly scares me as a human being. But if Anthony beats him, I don't want to hear these same dick beaters call for an instant, you know, an immediate rematch because Jon Jones was so worried about his court case. Because I'll tell you what, his behaviors in the past don't really show me a man that gets too concerned when he gets his ass in trouble.
Yeah, and we were talking about Nick Pilecki real quick. He has something he wants to say about it. He says, quote, I am disappointed in the champ, and he should be stripped of the title, and that leaving the scene of an accident is immature and disrespectful. A great no wait, and that, yeah, and that a martial artist as the UFC's greatest fighter, he should have more respect than that, than to do drugs, than to do that drugs. Okay, Nick Pilecki, you need to learn how to write, motherfucker. Basically, what he's saying is that basically what Nick is saying is that he's disappointed that the guy did, that he did what he did, drugs or no drugs. That's what he's saying.
That would have been a lot funnier if you would have done it in Nick's voice.
Okay, guys. No, here's the problem. 'Cause I'll make it sound like Michael Jackson.
No,
like.
I'm really disappointed. And as a mixed martial artist, a high-level mixed martial artist, I don't think he should be doing drugs and stuff like that. Well, I want to give him a big hug. I hope he doesn't get molested while he's in his cell.
You know what though? Hey, Nick, straight up. I know you guys don't. He doesn't say much on the Warriors Twitter thing, but on Facebook, on the chat that we have for Crossbones, man, he has some hate for Jon Jones. Like, as soon as this came out,
he's like, he got drunk and he really let it fucking spew out.
We talked about this. We need to have a drunk show where all of us, or except for Aaron, but when the rest of us are, you can't drink, dude. But for the rest of us, are hammered as shit. All right, and then we just see Nick Pilecki, or I got it. He's not watching. If we tell Nick that we're gonna do a drunk show and the rest of us are sober and just let Nick go, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we just drink water. Yeah, Nick, don't worry, I'm drinking whiskey. Have another drink.
I will tell you this, man. One of the most fun shows that I did before we changed the format. Now Stand and Bang is only me and Fred. We used to have a third host that's no longer with us. But I did a show.
Christ. He dropped off the show. He didn't die. He's no longer with us.
Oh, well,
that sounded horrible.
I didn't say he passed away or he went to the great beyond. I figured motherfuckers watching the show, when I said he was no longer with us, wouldn't just assume that I was talking about the biblical he's no longer with us. Rest in peace.
Fuck.
Let me get to my. You know what, hippie? Let me get to my goddamn point. I had Jim and Dan Miller on the show, and they got lit during the show. About halfway through the second segment, you could tell that they were having a mighty fine time. And by the third segment, that shit was hilarious. That might not actually be a bad idea.
We should try that. Definitely should try that. But so okay.
Hold on, before we move on, I just want to say quickly, kind of off topic.
Yeah.
I think the fucking Anthony Johnson dick riding is getting a little out of control. He's scary. Yeah, he hits hard. Okay, what's the matter with your mouth? Listen, he hits hard.
You think the dick riding is getting out of control?
Yeah, I do. Everybody really listen, man. Anthony Johnson hits hard, but that's about it.
Dude, no. Conor McGregor is balls deep in your ass, and you think that there's dick riding going on?
I was gonna say.
There you go. Change the subject, boys. Change the subject.
Jesus Christ. You have a fucking saddle that cocks. You ride more dicks than anybody I've ever met.
That's not true. I like one particular fighter, and you guys shit all over him. I gotta take up for the guy, for Christ's sakes. The haters.
Yeah, but Conor's not the only dick that you ride, bro.
It is too.
It is too the only dick I ride.
Listen.
Oh shit.
Anthony Johnson is a powerful striker, but he's a simplistic striker. He's not diverse enough for Jon Jones. Who the fuck are y'all kidding? Y'all really think that dude's going to catch Jon Jones with one of them big shots? Because let me tell you something. If Anthony Johnson doesn't catch Jon Jones with a big punch, he is fucked with a capital F. Whether Jon Jones is cracked out, methed out, coked out, banging strippers for 6 weeks. Anthony Johnson got out-wrestled by Josh Koscheck. Long time ago. I know the weight cutting thing. But either way, I think that, I don't know, I don't think that Anthony Johnson was a major test for Jon Jones. I really don't. I think that Jon Jones, short of getting caught with a big punch, wouldn't have had. I'll put it to you like this. Do you think that DC could beat Anthony Johnson? Do you think Anthony Johnson can beat DC? Because I sure as shit don't.
Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
No fucking way.
I think there will be a much closer fight. Okay, not even close fight. Here's the thing. You watch DC versus Jones. DC got inside on Jon Jones. And DC has power, but he doesn't have Anthony Johnson fucking power. Anthony Johnson gets inside on Jon Jones, he's fucked.
All right, here's another thing about this whole fucking Daniel Cormier thing. I've never liked Daniel Cormier. Fuck all you Daniel Cormier fans. I think he sucks. I think his striking looks like fucking shit. I don't give a shit that he flipped fucking Hendo head over heels. Hendo is 78 years old. If he couldn't handle fucking Hendo, then fuck him. He fell short at the Olympics. He fell short for the championship. I hate that fucking cupcake song that he sings with that MMA roasted bullshit. I don't like his commentary. I don't like the bullshit that he pulled with fucking Weidman. I don't like him at all. And yeah, I think Anthony Johnson will fucking destroy him. That's the thing. We don't know what Anthony Johnson can do at 205. And talk about him getting handled by Josh Koscheck. Well, fuck, did you just call me on something that was just a little while ago? That was like in 1978. Josh Koscheck was still good, and Anthony Johnson was cutting 475 pounds before the fight. Come on, man. Give me a fucking break.
That's like a lot of people have been talking about. Okay, let's say Jon Jones is stripped of the title, or if he's not stripped of the okay, fuck it. Let's say he's stripped of the title. What fight do you think we get to see? A lot of people calling for DC against Anthony Johnson. Some people talking about Gustafsson, Anthony Johnson again. I don't agree with that one.
No.
What Aaron? What fight do you think you would? What fight would you make to crown the new light heavyweight champion?
Yeah, fuck it, man. I got enough confidence in AJ. I say Daniel Cormier. Let him fucking whip that ass, and then that'll shut a lot of people's assholes real quick when Daniel Cormier for the first time is laid out in fucking knocked out style, and everybody's like, oh, well, you know, maybe it might be rudimentary striking. Let me tell you what, hitting somebody in the face with an 8-pound hammer is pretty rudimentary, but it still knocks them right the fuck out.
I agree with that. Fred?
Well, okay, so listen, but I agree with that. Honestly, I agree with that. I think it's a great idea, but he's fighting Bader, right? So realistically, and that's soon, isn't it? I think.
Well, I'm not sure, man, but
I don't listen. I see your shit smelling face, Aaron. I don't love that. I don't love that fight either. But I think they're too close to break it up, maybe right now. And it's a main event of a New Orleans card. DC's from New Orleans, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's from Louisiana, so they'll probably keep that fight together. But if that can happen fast enough, and Jon Jones is out for a while indefinitely, Anthony Johnson probably don't want to gamble with that spot. And I don't want to see him fight Gus just yet. I think Gus can beat Anthony Johnson, but I still don't want to see that fight just yet again. But I would maybe if we can get DC, and surely he should snuff out Bader with relative ease. That would be the fight that I want to see. And you're right, Aaron. If Anthony Johnson can come out and knock DC out, that would make me a believer. Because you know what? Ironically, all the bullshit that you just listed about DC, I fucking like. I do like that he snuffed out fucking Hendo. I do think that he's fucking impressive. I think that nobody has ever done fuck all to DC except for Jon Jones, who is obviously the fucking king of the universe and fucking on coke and drunk and everything else while he's doing it. But DC has always been relatively impressive looking to me. So I think that's the fight to make. We'll see if they can do it with the whole Bader nonsense, but that would shut me up as a Anthony Johnson critic. If he can come out and finish DC, I'll forever bite my fucking tongue till he fights Jones.
Now, you know what? I will agree with you on a little bit of the Anthony Johnson thing. And trust me, Anthony Johnson's not my favorite fighter. But he's very strong. And that knockout power, not only from fists, but also from kicks, that is one of those wild card things that, you know, traditionally throughout the history of the UFC and MMA, a guy that has one punch destructive knockout power or one kick destructive knockout power, that's one of those things that you can't really factor in because all it takes is one split-second mistake. I mean, how many times did Jon Jones hit Daniel Cormier in the face? A lot. Did you know what I mean? And so if he engaged in that inside kind of battle, I'm thinking it would only take two for AJ to knock Daniel Cormier right into Twinkie land.
Maybe even one. You are right about that. But here's the dynamic of the fight, though. Jon Jones, even though Anthony Johnson throws some kicks, Jones is a lot more of a diverse striker. So I think that he was able to land a lot more strikes than AJ would have. But you're right, though. AJ hits like a fucking Mack truck. He probably only needs one shot to put DC out. Can he land that shot is the big question. You know what I'm saying? And also,
can he land the shot? Could he land the shot on DC or on Jon Jones?
On either one of them. On either one of them. And here's the problem with DC.
Okay, DC is not quick. Let's all agree on that. DC is strong, and he's a great wrestler. But I never looked at Daniel Cormier and went, wow, he's so fast.
Not at 205. Not at 205.
At what weight was he fast?
At heavyweight, he absolutely was.
You mean compared to guys that outweighed him by 40 pounds?
At heavyweight, he's not fast at 205.
Fred, a person doesn't get faster when they're bigger. You're talking about it's a fucking relativity thing. He's fast for a heavyweight against heavyweights, but he's no faster, and he's not a fast man. I don't give a shit how you spin that fucking math. He's chubby, and he doesn't look all that athletic, and he ain't fast. And yes, Anthony Johnson could get there with a fucking punch.
Eddie?
Look, man. I was watching. I just enjoy. If I had popcorn, I'd be eating it right now. That shit was fun to watch. But look, I like DC a lot. I'm a big DC fan. I gotta say it. But at the same time, I agree with Aaron. He's not a fast guy. I mean, they call him Black Fedor and all that. I kind of see a little bit of that just because he looks unathletic and he's still powerful as fuck. But I mean, I want to see DC against Anthony Johnson. But I would say Anthony Johnson will probably knock him the fuck out. I just think so. Unless DC somehow, ends up ground and humping him the entire fight. And DC's not the kind of guy. DC's the kind of guy that will put you down and try to land elbows and shots on you. But I would have to give that win to AJ.
You know what would be fun? Just for a sacrificial lamb type of thing and just to be fun to look at? Why don't we feed Rampage to AJ?
Oh my God.
Well, come on, it'll be fun,
execution?
Right?
That would be an execution, easily.
Hey, hey, Rampage, you want somebody to stand and bang with you, baby? You're just the guy.
Yeah, that would be an epic ass beating. You know what?
Rampage,
I'm all for that fight.
Has Rampage ever been knocked out since Shogun?
I don't think so.
Didn't Vanderlei knock him out?
No. Well, that was since he's got to the UFC last 5-6 years.
Oh, I thought you meant ever.
No. I mean, but not for a long fucking time has he been finished with strikes, right? Hey, maybe.
It's been a while. By the way,
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head because I'm not Mark Raimondi. But Fred, I like you a little bit more now because of that. Because tonight I'll close my fat little peepers and I will think about AJ smashing Rampage to death, and that'll give me some good dreams tonight. That would be a fucking fun fight. And the funny thing is, Rampage would go into that motherfucker all sorts of confident. He'd be like, "Oh, chain around." and landed that punch, man. He would shit his pants.
You know what? Almost just I kind of like that fight, man. Rampage has got the name value. Might not be the worst thing in the world.
He fucking held.
That would be good, though. You're right, though. He would, too. He'd be coming out all cocky and shit.
No shit. Well, when is he not? When is he not? You know what I mean? When he was laying face down on a monster truck, he was probably talking smack to the cops.
Fuck you, motherfuckers. Fuck you, but don't shoot me. What was his name? Davey Boy giving Aaron props on his DC call. Did I get muted?
Yeah.
You muted yourself there, Eddie.
Go ahead. All right. Fucking Davey Boy give you props for your fucking DC rant.
I have a fair amount of anger.
Clearly. But
okay, so what's up with this card now, man? How bad is this card hurt in y'all's opinion? Fuck, I tell you one thing. Vitor better not start him with the hot pissing. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This went from an epic card with a capital E to holy shit, Vitor, don't fucking blow it for us because we're going to be fucked if not.
Hey, Ed, is there a way for you to present but not obscure the entire screen? Can you do like a little corner?
Well, you know how we fucking had to stop the broadcast button issue? Now it's not letting me do any kind of screen share, so fuck all that.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on. I might be able to help out.
Okay. Meanwhile, go ahead, sorry.
No, you talk amongst yourselves.
All right. If the Jones-Johnson fight gets called off and Jones isn't replaced, the main event turns into Vitor against Weidman. If Vitor fucks that up, the main event is likely Nurmagomedov against Cerrone. What do you think of that shit?
That can't happen, right?
I mean, you'd have to fucking find a way to get somebody else to jump into that main event or to replace any of those injured fighters. Then your co-main would be Travis Brown against Arlovsky, and the next fight would be Benavidez against Moraga. So, I mean, then it would look like a normal-ish kind of card. But this UFC 187 card is fucking monstrous. I mean, with the Jones Johnson fight in there.
I mean, here's my thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that if we have to lose Jones Johnson, the card's still fucking great. It's great. We got another title defense. We got Weidman versus Belfort. Awesome. That fight's been wanting to happen for a long time. That's a great fight. Then we've got Nurmi versus Cerrone. That gives me and Fred plenty to argue about. Some bragging rights. Whoever wins, that'll be a fucking epic fight right there.
True.
Travis Brown versus Andrei Arlovski. I don't love it, but hey, somebody's gonna get knocked out in that one. Benavidez versus John Moraga. That's gonna be a fast fight. Probably somebody's gonna get put to sleep. We get to see the Magician versus Makovsky. You know that John Dotson's going to put on a good show and fucking starch that kid. So that's going to be another good fight right there. We get to see Don Hung Kim against Josh Berkman.
Oh, God.
That one, I will probably be going to make a sandwich or something during that one. That's the only fight on this card where I'm like, I don't love that one so much. And then we got Uriah Hall, always fun to watch, against Rafael Natal. That's a great fucking fight. Natal looked great in his last. Don't stick your tongue out, Chewbacca. You know goddamn well that Natal looked great in his last performance, and Uriah Hall always puts on a fun performance.
Hey, man, you make your sandwich during Dong Young Kim's fight, and I'll make mine during Natal's. Fuck Rafael Natal.
You never know, though, dude. Uriah Hall's toe bones might pop out.
I like Uriah Hall.
For real,
all right. Then we got Rose Namajunas versus Nina Ansarov. So obviously they're giving a lamb to slaughter with Rose Namajunas.
Mm-hmm.
And then past that, Mike Pyle, Sean Spencer, whatever. Now we're getting into the Fight Pass, Justin Scoggins, Josh Sample. But I mean, once you get out of Fight Pass, that's a pretty solid fucking card with or without the Double J fight.
Yeah. No, here's the deal. That's a great card. But let's just say for the sake of argument, Jon Jones is gone. I don't think he's going to make it. I think one way or the other, Jon Jones is not fighting. I don't know whether he's going to get stripped of his title or made to go to rehab, but I highly doubt he fights on that card. So just for the sake of argument, let's say that Jon Jones is gone and they can't find somebody for AJ on short notice because there's really nobody to find. So that bumps up Vitor and Weidman. Now, my point was, Vitor, actually both these fucking guys have been known to get hurt and drop out of fights a lot. If something goes wrong there, as stacked as the undercard is, you end up with Donald Cerrone and Nurmi as your fucking main event for a pay-per-view card.
That don't work.
Say what?
That don't work.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now, if Weidman Belfort stays on, it's fine, and it's an awesome card. But I got to be honest with you, those two fucking dudes make me nervous, man. Both of them for multiple reasons. When is that fight? When is it?
May 23rd.
Jesus Christ, that needs to come around, son.
Yeah, you need to bubble wrap those guys. All right, so here's Nick Pilecki, just basically give you a glimpse into how he really is. If you can get Nick Pilecki when he's nice with that little Michael Jackson voice, and then you can get him here with a fucking who's like the meanest motherfucking, like a fucking Hulk Hogan voice maybe, I guess. But he says okay, so this is him on chat. He goes, I tried joining to say this while I'm at work, but fuck Jon Jones, stupid cunt ass. Hope he gets ass raped hard for this stunt.
There you go.
Nick Pilecki, ladies and gentlemen, he's pissed.
He's obviously a little bit into ass play too, which all right, cool. We got Davey Boy fucking with us saying put Rockhold against.
I was gonna say that he lost his goddamn mind. Rockhold against Johnson. You want someone to die?
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I understand that he's big for 185, but Jesus Christ, here, let's be realistic. I have talked with fighters who have fought Anthony Johnson at multiple different weights. Anthony Johnson is a heavyweight, ladies and gentlemen. No fucking joke. Anthony Johnson is a legit heavyweight fighter who is able to get down to 205, and I'll bet it's not too easy, and I'll bet the night of the fight, that motherfucker's what, 230? 235? We've had plenty of fighters, Fred, that we've talked to that gained 25 pounds in 24 hours. You know what I mean? He's big on the night of the fight. So, yeah, let him have Luke Rockhold. I don't really get down with Luke Rockhold. If he kills him, okay.
No, and here's the deal. I think that Luke Rockhold could compete with AJ. I don't think I would pick Rockhold in that fight, but don't get it twisted. Luke's a big guy. I think he could compete with AJ very well. But in reality, why in the fuck on God's green earth, unless they offer him $5 million, would Luke risk his shit to fight Anthony? For what? Does he get a shot at Jon Jones afterwards?
How about
He's already.
this thing?
There you go.
Michael Bisping will take the fight because not whether he dies or not, he gets paid mad fucking money.
I'll tell you, Michael Bisping would say yes. Hey, Chael Sonnen, grab him out of retirement. Let's just get some goofy cocksucker who always says
Michael Bisping to fight Anthony Johnson?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Almighty! No. That was that. I'm not bullshitting out. That he would hurt Bisping bad for sure. Bisping can't see right out that one eye.
There was that. I love that about you, Kirby. There was actual general concern. That's where you could tell Fred Kirby's a father. He was like, "Fuck, Michael Bisping. Good God, he would actually get injured. Let's not do that, Aaron."
No, look. I'll say this: if for some reason the Jones Johnson fight gets pulled completely, and let's say Vitor gets hurt, Rockhold vs. Weidman as a main event on UFC 187, not a bad fight.
Yeah. Now that I'll go with for sure. That would be fine. Yeah, that would work out perfectly. Actually, it's nice to have Luke there for that. That's a good point.
And he didn't get hurt at all in this last fight.
Well, right. Didn't he say he was staying in shape just in case?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's actually a really good point, man. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I'd love to see that fight if Vitor somehow gets fucked up. I mean, and if Weidman gets fucked up, put Rockhold in there anyway. He's got to get some revenge on Vitor.
Sure. And hey, listen. If by some crazy chance Luke Rockhold caught the hurt fucking broads off in fucking Brazil or whatever he's doing, you got Jacare waiting in the wings too. Like there's plenty of guys that could probably step right the fuck up and jump on that at 185.
Did you hear when Joe Rogan said that the only reason the guys get laid is because Luke Rockhold didn't get there first?
No,
I thought that was a great line. It was during the broadcast. I thought it was a great fucking line. I laughed a little bit. Of course, Aaron, who's actually a Joe Rogan fan, still would be like, motherfucker.
No, you guys got that shit all wrong. I am a Joe Rogan fan.
That's what I said. You're a Joe Rogan fan.
I think he's one of the best parts of the sport. I will be truly sad when he leaves, but he does say very amusing shit sometimes. Like during the I can't remember what female fight it was. They ended up in I think it was Randa Marcos and ended up in a north-south. Yeah. And Joe was like, well, the fans are going to enjoy that. And he was like, I don't get it.
All right, fellas, we've gone about an hour, so we're near the end of our time here. All right, so now, I mean, I don't know. The fucking Jon Jones thing's fucking ridiculous. I think more than likely he gets off with a slap on the wrist. I don't know. Last few words on the Jones thing, Fred?
It's hard to say what they'll do to him, man. I don't think he'll get a slap on the wrist, but I don't think it's going to be horrible either. I mean, he's, the way the world works, man, he's the type of guy that's going to get some special privileges. So I think they're going to enforce a rehab, man. He's got a drug problem. I think that's easy to see. I think they're going to try to make him deal with that. And I hope they do. I think that would be the best thing for all parties involved.
Aaron?
I hate to see it. I hate to say it, and I'm going to hate to see it. But I've got no faith in it anymore. Honestly, he might not fight at 187, but I think it's a small fine and nothing happens.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm with that too. I think nothing happens either. And I'll end the show like this. Nick Pilecki explaining why he's upset at Jon Jones, saying, I lost a friend because of a dumbass drunk driver. I don't know if Jon was drunk or high or whatever. I just lost all respect for the guy. So that's why Nick Pilecki's upset. So it's kind of what it is. All right,
can't say nothing to that.
Yeah. So no UFC event this weekend as far as right. There's no UFC event. The next one's a Fight Pass card is going to be Miocic against Mark Hunt. So which is on Fight Pass, so we'll be able to. We might. You know what? That might be the time we should do our little project on the side. We'll talk about it later, but. All right, so that's going to do it for today's show.
Talk about it now, so people are aware of that.
Okay. Well, all right.
I'm wondering if it's possible. I'm trying to figure out how I could do it because I can't be watching the fights and talking to you fuckers on the same screen, can
I? Yeah, but it would probably slow your computer down big time. Like I would have to. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna have to put it on I don't know. I might have to watch it on my phone and have this thing on right here. And
I think we should call the show Asshole Companion.
All right, so we're gonna do an asshole companion, which basically is us talking during the fucking fights, and it's easier on Fight Pass because we can all actually sync up at the same time because it's a little different otherwise. But I'm gonna try this shit out next weekend, next Saturday, for this Miocic Hunt card. So keep an eye out for that link, and all the information on that will be on Twitter. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Again, asshole companion. That's what we're gonna call it. We're just gonna go with that little title.
Maybe we should think of a little better one, because I'm pretty sure if you look in Adam and Eve or something like that, you might find the asshole companion, and it's not anything that we want to be associated with.
All right, fellas. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. You can follow Fred at Kirby_MMA and at Jump City Fighting. Aaron Robbins is at Stand, the letter N, Bang Radio. Also, StandandBangMMA.com. Newest show is up with Mark Munoz and Aljamain Sterling, right?
Yeah, and seriously, if anybody's watching this show who hasn't checked that one out, Mark Munoz gets real, very sincere and heartfelt about leaving the sport, why he's leaving the sport. Oh yeah, and fuck you, MMA Hour. What the fuck is up with you cocksuckers? Every single time I put out a show, and I know there's no fucking way Area Hawani is looking at my shit to get his ideas, but what the fuck? Right after I release my show, #MMA Hour, Mark Munoz is leaving the sport. Fuck you, you ISIS prick. Anyways, yeah, Mark Munoz gets real about leaving, and then Aljamain Sterling has a lot of fun with us, asking why the fuck he's number 10 and Mizugaki's number 7, and then we kind of give him some options about who he wants to fight next. So watch that goddamn show.
Yeah, definitely. Again, StandandBangMMA.com. You can go to iTunes, Stitcher, basically anywhere you can get a fucking podcast, you can go get their stuff, and on YouTube as well, right?
And fuck Hell One.
And fuck Hell One, of course. All right, #fuck Hell One. All right, fellas, thanks for joining me tonight. Everyone, follow me at Elo31 and the page over at Crossroads MMA. We'll check you guys out later. Have a good night.
Later, fellas.
Bye-bye.